Good morning. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you on a rainy day here in Hollandale Beach. We usually start out just sunshine and guns blazing, but unfortunately today it actually is raining. It's maybe all day. So the track, we're going to get an update on the track condition. It's definitely going to be an off track to start. We've got the Tapeta though, and that bodes well. And it's a big weekend here at Gulfstream Park too, because not only today, 8 race card race 3, the Rainbow, but tomorrow it's all going.
Watch out. 425 today. If nobody takes it down, it's still going to be mandatory tomorrow, but it's going to be a huge pool tomorrow. It's not an easy sequence. We'll have videos out through today and share thoughts tomorrow, and both have tickets, and it'll be a fun day.
It will be a fun day. You know, if nobody hits it today, we'd be in the $500,000 range tomorrow. I always like to think 4 or 5 times, so we always kind of err on the side of caution. I think $2 million is firmly in play, but we'll have a ticket later on today as well, and get active because, you know, there's still, what was it, last Friday, I think, there were 3 live singles, so not impossible.
Not impossible.
Card held together pretty well, too, so that is always a positive. We'll take a look at the early pick 5 here, though, to kick off in race number 1. $10 for me. It's the early double. I'm giving you what I think might be about a $4.80 early double. So Beth's Dream, of course, in race 2. Exciting to see her back. And then we spread a little bit in race 3, but race 4 is the race, and we've got to replay a Pound Green and Drill-O-Matic. I think that's the race maybe where things can get a little funky and we can get some value in there. And then 9-2 is the order in race number 5. Find Your Passion on the outside for Bobby D. 3-time winner, just $10. So let's start it off here in the opener. Again, at $12.50, that main track is probably, I'm going to assume, is going to be sloppy and sealed, but we'll get an update on that as we go along. And, of course, Pete's upstairs to run you through everything here. 6 furlongs on the main track, $25,000 maiden claimers. These are the 2-year-old fillies. And I'm going to lead it off with Fields of Green because we've got the replay to show. And this is kind of sort of the old they're off you lose angle on debut here. Sprinting 5.5. She is the 4, and you can see her right away. She's going to check back out of it. She's going to spot this field about 3 or 4 lengths. The homebred, the Jacks are better homebred, and you know those silks so well. So, you know, not a really very fair beginning for her that day. She was 6-1, didn't take a lot of money. But you can see, watch this extended move she's going to make. She's going to go right up there. And I thought this kind of showed that, you know what, she can run a little bit. Didn't really get a chance to show it, though.
Yeah, and you look at who won the race, let them watch. It won impressively and then came back this weekend to win the Sharp Susan. Yeah, so this filly is certainly flattered a lot, but she is what she is. And Jacks are better and Ralph Nix, these combinations together, they put a horse where they can win. And it's good to see that even though she didn't break as sharply, she didn't throw in the towel.
No, and she still showed a little bit, and that's a good point because a lot of times these 2-year-olds, and you know this better than anyone, they can kind of just call it a day.
Yeah.
When they don't get things their own way. You go all the way to the outside, Ladita, at least she's got a couple starts, but she showed more speed last time too.
Yeah, she did, and that was the race that New Diamond for trainer Patrick Biancone, this horse came flying to beat them all on the outside. Now, I'm not saying that's a super strong race by any means, but again, this is a filly that I think she's steadily improving, and Hector Diaz Jr., I harp on him a lot, and I think it's worth noting that he's somebody in my mind that's like, if you see Lionel Reyes on a horse, you play a horse like this because he's very good at getting horses in the race, and you've even mentioned it before, man, this jockey, he puts him in early. Post position, it's not ideal, but I will say this, she does have 2 starts to work with.
Yeah, and she ran 6 furlongs last time too, which I think is key. You know what I meant to mention to you last week? New Diamond didn't run in the Sorrento out there. She was supposed to go to Del Mar, right?
Yeah, I think she's there, but I don't. Yeah, she didn't end up running. We'll have to confirm.
She was very, very good, and that could be a good race. Church Girl on the MSW drop as well. Faced Escape Room, who didn't win last time, which worries me a little bit.
Yeah, I like the name here, Catholic Boy, confirmation bias. That's a little. It's good.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm just picking up. Oh, by the way, is this your long shot? 8-1 on the morning line.
No, it's my top pick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good.
All right.
Just starting off blazing.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good one in race 2 now. We're going to go a 1-turn mile here, optional claimer. We scratch out the 6, Smart Spending, and we get to see Beth's Dream again. And she is really, really good. And I was not in the the market of trying to beat her today. You?
No, I didn't. And with my early pick 4, I didn't even try here because she's just solid. This is a very skinny ticket for me, but you can tell who I like from this ticket. We'll get to this race in just a second. Race number 3, I scratched out of my 3rd place choice, but I think that 5 TikTokable with the speed will be okay. First off, the claim. Race 4, the 3 on top, that's Pound Green. I like the jockey switch here. And in race number 5, the 9 on top. Again, this is a sequence where you play this a few times, Brian, because we both have strong opinions early and late to this sequence. And I like days like this because you have to play what sometimes is just what makes sense in front of you.
I agree. You just don't look for something that might not be there. And I think a lot of times, when
you can overthink it.
You can overthink it, yes. And we've been guilty of that in the past. But sometimes, especially we as gamblers sometimes try to come up with big tickets, or we want to hit something big. I don't know if it's there today. 4 to 5 on Best Stream, which is exactly spot on, and she's probably going to be even lower than that. I guess if you want to nitpick a little bit, she's 0 for 2 on an off track, but she ran second. I'm not looking to beat her today.
No, you really can't, and this is a race that seems pretty spotted for her this time around, and they maybe have been, I'm speculating here, but they may have been waiting on her for a race like this, and it just hasn't come up, and look, she's got it in now. She's just very impressive.
If I was a betting man, and I am, this is her Princess Rooney prep, because that is
there you go.
perfect spacing for the end of September, and I like that we're running that race at the end of September now, and that's a Breeders' Cup kind of race, and that this could be it for her. From there, well, we've got the 3. What do you do with the 3 now? You put her in second. I felt like we expected a little more from her last time. They didn't bet her at all, and sometimes they bet these Amador Sanchez imports. That worries me a little bit.
Yeah, I do too, but she was coming off of a very long layoff, and I thought it was just a prep for her to go longer last time, just get her some race fitness in her. She didn't completely disgrace herself. Yeah, she only beat 1 home, but still, that was a strong race, and she's not a 6 furlong type of horse. She's a grade 1 winner in Chile, a grade 2 winner in Chile. Maybe those days are behind her, but if they're not, she'll play here. I think probably the 2 turns is what she needs, though, but still, this is a good spot to maybe come back to.
No, and that was a good race, a key race. Ari Adios Jersey's probably going to win, or could win the stakes tomorrow, so it's a very, very good race. She comes out of 2 down, 6 to go, so we'll take a little break here. When we come back, it's Rainbow 6 time, $425,000 in the gross jackpot guarantee, and of course, tomorrow we'll pay that out as well. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
My Racehorse has opened up a door for people that felt like that door would have never been opened for them.
We can all be owners and we can all get that excitement.
You can meet your horse through the different experiences and all of the events that My Racehorse puts together. You get that hands-on connection.
Whether you have $50 or $500, everyone that joins My Racehorse gets that experience of a lifetime.
I love My Racehorse. Let's go.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. It's a rainy Friday here at Gulfstream Park. We're going to start out with definitely an off track, and we'll see how it progresses from there. But Rainbow 6 time here in the 3rd, $425,000 in the gross jackpot guarantee. And tomorrow we will both have tickets. Are you on that?
Oh, yes, of course I am. We're going to take it down.
I like it. I like the enthusiasm. It hasn't worked out that well of late, but I like the enthusiasm.
You're going to stay positive here.
I like it. Okay, $48 for me. We started at $108, and we whittled down to 48 because of a couple scratches. 2 deep here. I already mentioned race 4. That's the spread race. In race number 5, 9-2 is the order. And then a little more condensed in race number 6, Gun Maestro on top. I like the post position position. Best bet of the day is Nautical Star, who will lose a little value in there with Big Martini. That was a bummer. Big Martini coming out.
That was my top pick, too.
Yeah, look at that. So, and you finally got 7 furlongs with Big Martini.
I know.
So, oh, well. And then we'll throw the dart at the wall in the finale, and it lands on the long shot, Crow Motion for Kathy Monjon. 8-1 on the line, and I like that there. So that's the 5-horse. $48, and again, not a mandatory today, but $425. We'll have close to $500,000 in that pool today, and then of course the big one tomorrow. We'll pay it all out. Let's start it here though in race number 6, or on the main track. 6 furlongs, 12.5 maiden claimers in here. We do scratch the 7 Delvey, who was a major, at least I thought, a major player.
Yeah.
But I always did have Talkable on top, and I think now with what's going on behind us, I don't think it'll bother Liz Dobles and Connections that it's just going to be an off track.
Nope, not at all. This actually played out much better for him than he probably could have imagined. And 2 sloppy tracks, it's an interesting claim here, but Bruno Schickendas, he really just jumps in and he's aggressive. What do? Bring this horse right back. Same spot, same level. He's got some speed, which helps. It's a 6-horse field now. This horse seems pretty solid.
Yeah, not a lot of people like to single the star. If you're on a budget on this rainbow, or you want to play it maybe a tighter ticket, I'll tell you what, you could do worse than singling Talkable. Good to see Liz's name back in the entries. Her first starter back here last week. She won. Yeah. So this is a barn. I'm sure everybody's familiar with her, but this is a potent barn, and she's 20% off the claim as well. Nico's having fun towards the inside. Showed some speed on the dirt last time. That could work well here.
I think it could as well, and it was just kind of like the light bulb went off a little bit better last time. If you
went on,
yes, that's right. You take out the Tapeta race, this horse really didn't travel too well over it. Now he's going to have to deal with a sloppy or maybe off-track, good track. Not a fast track probably by 1:48 Eastern today, but I think that these are connections that are pretty sharp with moves like this, and I like the fact that they keep the horse on the dirt.
Yeah, Solomon's Gold now for Joe Cantonese. Sadly, Larry Bates passed away, and Poema in race 2 as well. Joe's going to take over. Yeah. Very sad, but he didn't run that well last time, but that was a very, very fast race for the level on a muddy track.
It was, yeah. Power Humor, that horse is pretty solid. So is Adios Papa Chico and Right Karma. Those are 3 horses that would be even money in a spot like this, and they're bringing him back to where he fits.
Well, that's the thing, too. I know he's 0 for 12, and he's got 5 seconds, and that's kind of a red flag for me. This is his level, and he hasn't been at this
level. At the level ever,
Right, so he could wake up today. Late pick 5 time in race number 4. We're going to $170 on the Tapeta. 3-year-olds are 4 and up, which have never won 3 races. A tag 12-5 down to 10. Samantha is on the ticket.
I am, and I thought this was a really good sequence as well. $24 the play for me. Going to spread a little bit in this race. We'll get to it in just a moment. Race 5, the 9 on top for me. Find Your Passion. It may be low-hanging fruit, but I think this is a filly that deserves to win in this spot. Race 6, the 6 on top for me. Gun Maestro. I thought I would get a little bit better of a price in this horse, but I don't think so with the scratch of Quincy Cafe now. Race 7. It's a 2x3 late double for me, but the 6 on top, that's Nautical Star. I did scratch into this horse, but it is your best bet. Yeah, I think I tried to make this horse on top. I bet Big Martini going 7 I was excited for. And in race 8, this could go a lot of different ways, and feel free to add, but I do like Mr. Rhodium a lot here. I know the chances are adding up, but $24 for me here.
I'll say this about race 7, and obviously we'll get to it in a second here. The scratch of Big Martini is twofold, because not only could he have won the race, and you said he was your top pick.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of heat, a lot of speed out of the race. That might hurt Nautical Star a little bit. The other day when we were capping this, there was a lot of speed in this race. It takes some out of it now for sure. Back to the 4th, though, to kick off this late 5. Let's just show you the Pound Green and Drillmatic replay here, because they ran 3-4, last time. Drillmatic is the 8, Pound Green is the 7, and you're going to see when they come out of this here that Drillmatic was a little bit compromised in terms of the race flow, and I thought he still ran pretty well. He's back there while his Pound Green gets kind of first run at him. But I thought this was maybe a little bit better effort. He got look at those fractions here. He got no pace to go at all. XY Time, who's on the engine here, he ended up winning next time out. So it's a good race, too. Drillmatic's actually only going to get beaten a length when it's all said and done.
Right.
And you can see what's happening there. He clearly gave up first run to Pound Green.
Yeah, and when you're going that slow in the beginning,
Yes,
you
it's
can't.
hard.
Yeah, you just can't make up that kind of ground the way that the Tapeta races kind of flow into. And hey, this horse has taken a couple nibbles. Has problems with the gait, though.
Yeah.
It's interesting. If it's not by his own doing, like his head being turned at the start, he'll just kind of get steadied, or just he kind of seems to find some problems.
No disrespect to Kennedy Barrigade, but this is a monumental jock move now to get Miguel Vasquez, too. That's a big deal today,
Huge.
one of the best we have. So I think Pound Green could be tough in here. We've got the same exacta. Wicked Genius, you got to like this horse, first time gelding.
Yes, this is huge, and this is his first try on the Tapeta, so with the combination of these two things, this horse could really wake up. Now, maybe a little bit concerning that he was avoided claim
The V.
last out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that worries me.
it's but still, this is a sharp barn. I love that they've gelded him. There's no reason for this horse to stay intact, and Lionel Reyes gets aboard.
And you want to talk about a key race, albeit on turf. This horse comes out of a very key race last time. So Wicked Genius certainly in the mix. Late pick 4 time here in race number 5. 7 furlongs on the main track here. We can show my ticket real quick. It's just $12 here.
Nice.
And got the single again of Nautical Star, my best bet, and then the spread in the last race. So $12, a lot like Samantha's early 4 ticket, and that you can probably punch it a few different times, or you can get even, if you have an opinion in the last race, you really get a leg up,
You do.
I think, on the rest of the betting public, because that's a tricky race for me. But let's start it out here in the 5th. We're going to go 7 furlongs. Again, the track to be determined, definitely off. There's no doubt about that. It's going to have plenty of moisture in it. 3-year-old fillies are 4 and up, which have never won 2 races, and we're both all the way outside. Yeah, find your passion for Bobby D.
Yeah, this filly, she's drawn perfect for this spot here today. I like that she gets the 7 furlongs. She handled the mile no problem last time, but just couldn't see it through. But she was coming off of a big effort 2 back where she won and just kind of blew the doors off the field. And they kind of stepped her up last time as well, but she kept her speed in that race. She's back for this level. She's never tried a wet track before, which is interesting. Yeah.
3-time winner in a field of a bunch of 1-furs, and that is a big deal. Now, underneath, we're all over the place. You go to the 6 Vacation Suite in here, lightly raced for Kathleen O.
Yeah, it's good to have Marco Meneses back in the jocks room, too. He's very aggressive with these horses. This filly, she is what she is. What I like about her even more now, though, is she's 1 for 1 on the muddy track, and she really aired out that field.
It's a good point. I mean, she blasted a field that day, came from way out of it, too. So she could really move up over the surface today. I'm towards the inside with Musical Journey. The drop, I think it makes sense, and she comes out of a couple good races, too.
Yeah, but no dirt starts, which is interesting. Of course, these horses do their bulk of their training on the main track, so it's not like she's never handled it before, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
It's odd that she hasn't run on it, but I will say this, and I think you'll probably agree, I don't view it as a huge negative against this group of gals today.
No, not at all.
Race number 6, this is going to kick off the late pick 3 here. We do scratch the 1 Quincy Cafe out of this 6 furlong. A lot of main track races today, unfortunately. The weather's not helping us out.
Yeah.
3-year-olds are 4 and up, which have never won 2. The tag is 35 in here, and we're both on Gun Maestro. You were hoping for some value here, I guess, but that's...
but it's long gone. But it's all right. This is a horse that he's had a little bit of a freshening up for. Fernando Abreu. Hector Diaz gets aboard, drawn perfect in this spot. Quincy Cafe, I don't know about you, but was never really an on-top player.
No, I had that one in 3rd. I have no idea what we're going to get from the 2 Apocalypso today. We haven't seen him in a bit. He has not run at all lately, when he has run, I mean. And he started out with a lot of promise, and I just feel like he looks like one of those horses that just never got any better.
Yeah, and the layoff, actually, it's more the spacing between all of his races is concerning, because he's never really consistently found a rhythm of races, and horses typically run well fresh, especially a horse like him, but he hasn't.
No, not at all.
And now it gets the rail.
No, and they tried 2 turns on the Tapeta last time, and that was kind of, I don't want to say they were waving the white flag, but now he is in for a tag, and it didn't go well. So just tread a little lightly there. They're gonna bet him.
They will.
Now, Bad Henry's 15 on the line. I agree with it wholeheartedly. He's slow. I want to show you his race, though, okay, because he was awesome last time. I know he beat 12-5 maiden claimers. He's the 3 here. This is a type of horse that could blow up your rainbow. Nick Palmer's going good. He's going to come back with Lasix on. Watch what happens here. We talk about this all the time. These are 12-5 maiden claimers. This horse does not have gears like a stakes horse or anything like that. Look at this trip he's got. He's going to end up winning this race by almost 6 lengths, by the way. Okay, he didn't beat anything. I get it. We haven't seen him since. That was back in December. This was a monster effort. Maybe he's a little bigger and stronger and faster now. He gets Lasix. He's got more maturity. I've got him down in my mix. I'd be surprised if he won this race, but people that are going to play this rainbow and they want to take a shot at it, this is the type of horse that blows it up.
Yeah, the whole time he was sitting loaded with horse, and that was a bit of a head scratcher because his last few races prior to that were just no-shows.
No shows.
It'll be interesting to see how he comes back. And Nick Palmer, he's been sneaky good lately.
He's been going very good. And, oh, by the way, you want to ride Miguel Vasquez? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So, you're going to get – he should be at least 10 with the scratch. And just food for thought if you're trying to really get a little creative. Late double time, it kicks off with a really good race in race number 7. We go 7 furlongs on the main 3-year-old. It's his optional claimer for the 3-year-olds. Unfortunately, we scratch out Big Martini. It is my best bet of the day. You scratch into Nautical Star. They admittedly threw him to the Wolves, I think, in the Florida Derby. And you can talk about this more than I can. Sometimes when they get beat up like that, they don't come back. But I like what Safi's done. He's freshened him up. Boy, he looks like he's working up a storm, too.
Yeah, which is always a good thing, right? And this is an Oklahoma bred, which I love this. Yeah, the connections I actually know from Remington, the breeders and who trained the horse last time. And this was a private purchase that was kind of in mind for the Florida Derby. Safi had a couple of owners jump in for some horses late, and this was one of those. This was a horse he was working with West Coast Cowboy leading up to the Florida Derby and was actually getting much the better of him. Again, like you mentioned with the speed out, there's still going to be horses that have a little bit, but I think that Big Martini made it a bit more interesting. I think this horse is a 2-turn horse.
Could
but
be, yeah.
This is a good starting point, and I think for the connections as well to see what do they have now.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. I'm excited to see him back today. I felt like, again, with Big Martini in there, he was in a good spot. The lack of pace or the fact that there's so much pace coming out of the race could be a little problematic. We're still going to show you Local Abario, though, because he beat Big Martini, and he beat him on the square 2 back. And that's a big deal because both Samantha and I think Big Martini's pretty darn good. Local Abario, I don't want to say he toyed with him. He beat him comfortably. I'm bummed that Big Martini's out because when you see this in deep stretch, I remember we were watching it up here, and Big Martini did not want to let him go. No. And you're going to see him in deep stretch really fight back. This was a pretty good effort, though, by Local Abario.
It was. And, yeah, Big Martini, we bet out on him that day because we were so excited to watch him at 7 furlongs, and I think people would have been afraid of that today. Local Abario, he is what he is. He runs the same type of race every time. He gets that kind of just stalking trip and then takes off and does it easily, but it's not like he's really getting, I don't know how to say this, like he wasn't really being tested at all.
No, and I think you bring up a good point because if you're a figure person and like or dislike the buyers, they're just something, the point of reference. He's running the same race every time, and that's another reason why I like Nautical Star a lot today. I feel like he can still go up.
Exactly.
Whereas Local Abario, I don't want to say he's plateaued, but you know what you're going to get from him. And Ronnie Spatz has done such a good job with him, and he's a cool horse.
Yeah.
But sometimes those type of horses, when someone comes up and runs the race of their life, they're in a little bit of a danger zone. I think that might be the Lightning Tones. He really gets hurt with the scratch of Big Martini because the more pace, the better for him.
Yep, he does. And it wasn't a bad race last time with him. I think that carry back kind of hurt him a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was a big return from Long Range Chatty, who won that race, for Victor Barboza that he's coming out of. He just has to have the speed, and I don't know if they're going to go quick enough for
They're
him now.
not. And he was way out of his element last time.
Right.
He's a 3-year-old tackling older horses. Now he's back with his friends today, but I don't know how they're going to treat him in here. So race number 8, this could be a problem race in the Rainbow. 5 furlongs on the Tapeta, and we know how snappy this is. And we should mention, too, there are a lot of dirt races today, but don't forget, and I think we both agree with this, when it rains, the Tapeta tightens up a little bit.
It does. You want to have some speed here.
You do, absolutely. You're outside with Mr. Rhodium, who's got some speed. I don't know how much try he's got, but he does have speed.
Yeah, and was defeated by a filly last time. You pulled up the replay of Don't Answered Mr. Rhodium. They both faced each other.
Yeah, we can watch it. They're all in here.
Yeah, the gang is all here. And Mr. Rhodium, I get it. He's 0 for 10. There are a lot of races that he probably should have won, but I like this draw for him today. And this is a field where I think this field has so many question marks.
This is probably the softest group he's faced.
Agreed.
Is that fair?
I think that's fair.
I don't like when they all hit the line together. Now, we see that a lot on Tapeta, but that rubs me the wrong way a little bit. But one of these days, he's going to get there. You know, what is he in? What is he on the line in here? He's 5-2, and I get it. I agree with it. I can't bet this horse at 5-2, but he's a player. You can't play a real ticket without him, I think, for sure. My long shot's in here, the 5 Chromotion. I mean, it's a little bit of a stab. Kathy Munchen back off the layoff. He's been routing on the turf. So this could be sharp for him, but he did show speed, and maybe that puts him in a good trip today.
Yeah, and he's trying a new surface for the first time, so he could step up in that spot.
Lionel comes back. The winner last time came right back to win. So he's coming out of some okay races. You just saw Don't Answer. He seems to be, moving forward. 3rd start of the form cycle for him, and down on the inside, start on a high note for Safi. It seems to be going forward. At least tough post here, though.
It is, especially because he just broke so slow. Last time it was like, they're off, you lose, and that was it for this guy. And at least he still kind of kept some attention. But,
right. No doubt about it. Edgard is going to ride out the run on the 8th, though, so loses him to the outside, and that post could be a problem. So that's it. 8 of them for you. Again, the Rainbow, 425 today, kicking off in race 3. And then tomorrow, of course, is the big day with the mandatory. We'll go to the lightning round. Kind of a bitter-sweet lightning round. We'll get to that at the end. But as we always do, we'll start out with the standings here. And as we always do, Lionel is setting the bar mighty high.
Yeah, he is just riding incredibly. The podium, though, it's shaping up to be a nice race.
I got to tell you, Edwin Gonzalez, since he came back from his little trip out in California, he just everywhere, every ride he's in the right spot. You don't have to worry about anything. He reads the racing form, and he knows where he's supposed to be. So it's a credit to him, and he's just firing away about 20%. And Miguel, of course, as well. And there's Edgard. I feel like that might be the first time we've seen Edgard make it because he's been bouncing around, too.
Yep, he has been. So good to see him up there, and he's set for a big weekend.
Absolutely. We'll take a look at the trainer standings now, and it's Safi and Jose. 11 now. That's the biggest we've seen.
Yep,
right?
It is. It just is starting to separate here, and it's interesting, too, because both of these trainers have horses at Saratoga.
Yeah, without a doubt, and Safi's up there. I think he's in the stakes up there today, actually, as well, and there's a 1992 Bobby DeBona down there he's holding on to, and everything Bobby sent out has been so well meant. Now, this was Sunday, but when we last were with you, congratulations to John Rivera, 22 years old and into the winner's circle.
You're getting ahead of yourself a little bit.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, best bet long shot. I was just so excited
You
about
were.
that.
I mean, it is exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
Nautical Star for me.
Okay. Mine is Find Your Passion.
And then Chromotion for me.
No long shot for me.
Out?
Yeah.
Scratched?
Just out.
For sure?
Yes.
Promise? Okay.
Yeah.
No long shot for Samantha.
No.
Today, but here we go now. Congratulations to John Rivera. Looks pretty good. You can talk about this more than I can. Looks pretty good on a horse, too.
Yeah, this was a nice ride, and I think we all kind of said it in the office, like this guy, he sits very nicely on a horse. With Pesky, put the horse in the right spot. I admittedly was against Pesky, but that's fine. You can be wrong sometimes, and he rode the horse well, and excited to see kind of what he's got going for him.
Yeah.
Big future ahead.
Getting on an Arendelle winner there, 22 years old. So congratulations to him. And then, of course, congratulations as well to Joe Orsino on Sunday. I mean, he had to split the win, but this was his 2000th career win for Joe. Oh, there's John.
Oh,
okay,
wow,
we
that's
got
great.
that. Good
Yeah,
stuff there.
that's awesome
Gotta
for his
like
first
that.
win. Yeah.
With those famous Arundel silks
Yeah.
as well. And then there we go. Everybody, that's, well, you had that happen, right?
I did, yeah. I did at Remington, yeah.
Remington's-
Big Winner was the horse's name, too. Which
Really?
Is, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay. Well, here's 2,000 for Joe Orsino. We like Joe. He's down here, does such a good job. We see him often. He wasn't here, unfortunately, but blew up the board a little bit, too. He had to split it, though. He had to share this win as the dead heat, but congratulations to Joe.
He
Coming up the fence, right?
Yeah, this was a race that yeah, I mean, this was impressive. Lord Eddard Stark, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, as myself, named after him. So I it was fun.
Yeah, congratulations to Joe. And I think he might be here today, or he's going to be back soon. So we'll give him a handshake as well. And, of course, we've already mentioned it, the mandatory day tomorrow, provided they don't hit it today. I think 2 million's in play,
Yep.
certainly over 1.5 as well. Now, if they don't hit it today, we'd be talking probably around 500,000 in the gross jackpot guarantee tomorrow. So it will be big balloons.
Yep.
And, boy, this was a real bummer yesterday. I remember
Yeah.
I texted you this. I saw this on Twitter. Out of the blue, unfortunately, our 2023 Pegasus World Cup winner, Art Collector, passed away due to laminitis. And you said to me yesterday, you lost a horse with this. It's just so unfortunate.
It is, and it's just, it's such a nasty disease that I know there's a lot of research going on, and it's hard because these horses, they carry so much weight, and the feet are a very fragile thing on a horse, and this does not discriminate, this disease, laminitis, and it gets your horse quick, and it's a real bummer, and we forget sometimes, I think, that these horses are so fragile for being how big they are, and when you get feet problems like that, it's a bummer, and condolences to everybody involved with him. I love seeing the videos of him and Irma, the hot walker that works for Bill Mott, always giving him carrots.
Yeah, that was a real bummer, and we love our equine stars, and certainly Art Collector this winter, and I remember doing the interview after the Pegasus and Bill, and certainly Bruce Lunsford, who bred him. They were so elated.
Yeah.
So rest in peace.
Their
6 years old.
family, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's it in a nutshell. So unfortunate set of circumstances, but rest in peace to Art Collector for sure. We'll send it up to Pete for the scratches and changes. We're happy to have you aboard here on a Friday at Gulfstream.